ultimately the brain becomes hardwired. And then to think outside the box the way those neurons are connected really takes quite an enormous amount of effort, because it challenges your own personal beliefs and perceptions, it challenges your relationships with other people, it challenges even your emotional agreements. And so people have agreements with people and things and places and times and events, and all those agreements have some chemical makeup that supports who they are as an individual, as an identity, as a personality.
A hard question to answer is how all of these little molecular events play into a personality.
If you've seen your own brain scan, it's kind of depressing. You see many different areas of the personality, each with their own electrical activity that seems to have no coordination. It's like a symphony with no conductor. But all of a sudden, if the conductor steps up to the plate, the whole brain would function in unity and coherence. That's a properly functioning brain.
There's a part of the brain called the hypothalamus. And the hypothalamus is like a little mini factory, and it is a place that assembles certain chemicals that matches certain emotions that we experience. Those particular chemicals are called peptides. They're small chain amino acid sequences. The body's basically a carbon unit that makes about 20 different amino acids all together to formulate its physical structure.
The hypothalamus is actually a structure that's a little bit more right below the thalamus, usually right in this area here. It's a little bit, you can see it as a little bit of a yellow area, and a little later on we'll show how it turns on during these experiences. But the hypothalamus is a main controller of body functions. It regulates all of our basic body functions: heart rate, blood pressure. It helps to regulate most of our hormones, including our sex hormones, stress hormones, and so forth. It helps to regulate our immune function, and it is the key regulator of the autonomic nervous system.
In the hypothalamus, we take small chain proteins called peptides, and we assemble them into certain neuropeptides or neurohormones that match the emotional states that we experience on a daily basis. So there's chemicals for anger, and there's chemicals for sadness, and there's chemicals for victimization, there's chemicals for lust. There's a chemical that matches every emotional state that we experience. And the moment that we experience that emotional state in our body or in our brain, that hypothalamus will immediately assemble the peptide that then releases it through the pituitary into the bloodstream. The moment it makes it into the bloodstream, it finds its way to different centers or different parts of the body. Now, every single cell in the body has these receptors on the outside.
And one cell can have thousands of receptors studying its surface, kind of opening up to the outside world. And when a peptide docks on a cell, it literally, like a key going into a lock, sits on the receptor surface and attaches to it and kind of moves the receptor, and kind of like a doorbell buzzing, sends a signal into the cell.